This needle tells you when a regime stops governing and starts surviving. Because long before the headlines, the mechanism shows up here. Hard currency in, hard currency out, and how much leaks away in between. Tiny sublabels: inflow, access, leakage. When the choke point is open, the system can still function. Imports clear, payroll clears, basic stability clears. When it tightens, the government doesn't just lose money, it loses options. And when it hits red, the state stops solving problems and starts pricing loyalty. Yes, by early 2026, you saw the image everyone remembers. But this story isn't about the handcuffs. It's about the arithmetic that made the handcuffs possible. In many countries, major reforms happen only after a crisis window opens, because systems don't move while they can still buy time. In the next minutes, I'll show you the sequence that takes this gauge from green to red, and why, once it drops far enough, do politics become a negotiation with math? Venezuela didn't start poor. It started with a geological advantage: oil. And oil doesn't just create revenue. It concentrates a country's hard currency into one channel. For a while, that feels like strength. Imports feel easier than production. Buying feels easier than making. The country starts living inside one equation. Oil in, dollars in, everything works. And for a while, it does. A country can look wealthy while quietly losing the ability to live without one channel of hard currency. When the choke point tightens, choices disappear. And once hard currency concentrates like that, the future depends on one question. Can the channel keep producing and clearing? Because oil isn't magic. It's rigs, pipelines, engineers, maintenance schedules, spare parts, discipline. And discipline is the first thing that disappears when the system is treated like a political tool instead of an industrial one. When maintenance is delayed and expertise drains, output doesn't fall politely. It falls suddenly, then keeps falling. Rust, leaking pipe, refinery night, downward line graph. And once output drops, the country doesn't just lose revenue. It loses hard currency, the thing that keeps imports, payroll, and stability clearing. A petrostate can survive bad press. It can't survive a tightening choke point. The party ends when the ATM stops. Here's where the mechanism tightens. When the choke point narrows, the bills don't shrink with it. Payroll, subsidies, debt, loyalty. So the temptation is predictable. Print. But printing doesn't create hard currency. It creates the appearance of money until the appearance breaks. And once money loses credibility, every transaction becomes urgent. Picture a father paid on Friday morning. He doesn't go home. He goes straight to the store. Not for what he wants, for whatever still exists. By the afternoon, the same items cost more, and by Monday, the pay is lighter. When money can't store value, society can't store calm. When prices stop meaning anything, life becomes triage. And once pricing breaks, the economy stops coordinating itself. It starts reacting. And here's the part most people get backward. People don't leave first. They split reality first. When local money stops working, life reorganizes around what still clears. One track runs on weak money and a shortage. The other finds hard currency, dollars, remittances, informal channels, and keeps moving. Dollarization doesn't fix the country. It creates pockets where trade can breathe. When the choke point tightens, choices disappear. And in a split like this, the next mechanism appears. The exchange rate stops being a number and becomes a weapon. When official rates and real rates diverge, the economy stops sharing one reality. There's the rate on paper and the rate at which people actually live inside. A shopkeeper checks 3 prices before selling one item, not because he's greedy, but because he doesn't know what replacement stock will cost tomorrow. And once society splits, the final loss isn't just money, it's people. So let's stop narrating and start auditing. 3 receipts, 3 angles, same choke point. Because collapse isn't one moment. It's a sequence of balances going negative. What changed? The production machine degraded. Immediate pain. Fewer hard currency inflows. Delayed gain. Short-term control. Political scar. The state became smaller than its promises, and everyone could feel the gap. What changed? Printing and rate distortion replaced adjustment. Immediate pain. Prices stopped coordinating with real life. Delayed gain. Temporary funding. Political scar. Enforcement gets harder because rules feel negotiable when reality has 2 prices. What changed? People stopped believing the future was inside the country. Immediate pain. Professionals left. Delayed gain. Remittances kept families breathing. Political scar. The country lost the people who could rebuild the machine. Now, picture a hospital hallway with the lights on, but the staff list is empty. The sign still says cardiology. The chairs are still there, but the specialist left, and nobody replaced them. When people leave, future leaves with them. And now the choke point tightens twice. Less money and less competence to fix the money. Here's the threshold moment, the one most people miss. There's a point where the state stops buying momentum and only buys time. Momentum, time buying. A regime can survive hatred. It can survive isolation. But it can't survive the moment insiders decide you're more expensive than you're worth. The late envelope. Imagine a payroll envelope that arrives late, then lighter than last month, then not at all. That's the quiet moment power changes shape, not in speeches, in arithmetic. So this wasn't only a political story, it was a financial mechanism. Oil concentrated hard currency into a choke point. Capacity weakened. Printing broke prices. Rates split reality. 2 economies formed. Then the people who could rebuild the machine left. And once the choke point tightens far enough, money stops clearing. Then stability stops clearing. Then the power stops clearing. When the choke point tightens, choices disappear.